Guys, quick announcement before the video starts. Our charity campaign to raise money for the Aki KINDERHOSPIZ is still going on. Thank you so much to everyone who has donated so far, and if you're interested in contributing to the campaign, the link is in the description. Thank you so much. Now on to the video. I am going to tell you the most important thing that I have learned in my 20s. Now, my 20s aren't over just yet, but the clock is ticking. I am on a lovely little stroll down to the grocery store to buy some groceries, some food that I will eat that will hopefully make me strong and healthy. Instead of going directly to the grocery store, I'm going around the long way. I'm taking the scenic route. There's a few ways of saying it. Taking the scenic route, stop and smell the roses. As the iconic American Ferris Bueller once said,
life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
All great pieces of advice, but it's not what I'm talking about today. Okay, after a nice stroll through the scenic route, I am almost to the Reve, and I bet you think that I am actually talking to you right now. But look at that! The audio doesn't match up because the audio is actually from a different clip. I tricked you, and here is the clip of me actually talking that one time. Man, I'm really thinking ahead with this edit. Chef Nalf, chicken and potatoes. Yum. Okay, guys, now I put the rest, the extra chicken and potatoes, in the fridge, and then I eat it later, tomorrow, or the next day or something. That's my system. Far and away, the worst chore there is. I always forget about this. Washing the dishes after you cook. I mean, this is just my least favorite chore. Oh, here's a good question. What order of operations do you do when you cook? Do you clean up as you're cooking? Do you clean up after you cook but before you eat? Or do you clean up after you eat? Right now I'm cleaning up before I eat, but sometimes I clean up after I eat. I think you can tell a lot about a person by which order they do those activities in. And now, guys, I'm going to sit in here in my room and watch this new show. I just talked about it in my Patreon Q&A. Squid Game on Netflix. It's a Korean show, and it is crazy and dark, but it is thrilling and addicting. So I'm going to eat my food here and watch this crazy show.
오빠 이름이 뭐야?
It's the bad part about subtitle shows is if you look away for 2 seconds, you miss it. So I have to rewind it. Okay, time to switch my laundry. This is not as bad as cleaning the dishes, but still not one of my favorites. And yes, guys, I wash and dry darks and lights together. As Rude Jude would say, ain't nothing wrong with mixing.
Ja, und das hat das Girlie jetzt so Wichtiges gehabt.
So guys, I just ate a fantastic meal, which made me happy, and now I'm going on a glorious evening walk in the fall vibes of Schwäbisch Hall, and that also is making me happy, but neither one of those things are what I'm talking about today. This lesson can be summed up perfectly by the words of Scottish novelist Robert Louis Stevenson, who said, "Do not judge a day by the harvest that you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. This sort of philosophy has like totally shifted the way I look at my days and what I consider to be a full and successful day. I mean, in the past, I've certainly struggled with feeling like, now what? And I'm not doing enough and I'm not accomplishing enough. It's something that I've really struggled with. And it's because my perspective on what a good day of life is what did I achieve today? What did I finish and accomplish? Throughout life, it's not very often that you're finishing something or accomplishing something or harvesting something. So if I continue with this standard of considering days of harvest to be full, successful days of life, I'm gonna be miserable and disappointed. So I really like this perspective on, at the end of the day, look back at your day and see what seeds did you plant for your future self today. For me, planting seeds can be a bunch of small stuff. It could be eating a healthy meal or getting a good workout in. That's planting seeds for my physical body and health in the future. Maybe it's reading a book where I'm reading something and I'm getting information and knowledge into my brain. I don't know how I'm going to use this in my life, but someday down the line, that seed that I planted in my brain from that book is going to click with something and I'll be able to harvest that seed. And even on like a smaller scale, like some of the stuff I did today, like to me, I considered a successful seed plant that I cooked extra food for myself and stored it away so that I can eat it later in the week. That's a little bit more literal and very small scale, but to me, that's a win. That's a good little seed that I planted. Even doing simple chores is planting seeds, because to me, planting seeds is all about setting your future self up for success and helping your future self out. And for me, if I do laundry, that's planting a seed for myself in 2 days where I can harvest that I have clean clothes and clean stuff to wear to football practice. I know there's like stuff like that's kind of silly, but it's just, I like the way of thinking about it all. If I switch my perspective of, I'm not trying to reap harvests every day, I'm trying to plant as many seeds as I can every day, whether they be big, small, whether I know when and where and how I'm going to harvest it, or whether I don't. I really like this way of thinking, this sort of philosophy, and it's been a kind of very positive perspective shift in my life. I'd be curious to hear what you guys think about this type of thinking, and also let me know like what are the most important, most beneficial things that you have learned in your life. I really like the stuff, so I'd appreciate you sharing it with me if you've got anything. All right, guys, that is all for today. Thanks so much for watching my YouTube channel. Really appreciate it, and I will see you next time.